And was your mom a stay-at-home mom because she had 5 kids, or?
My mother was a model with John Powers.
You're kidding.
No.
Wow.
And she was on, she also, she did a lot of work for Henry Bendel.
Mm-hmm.
She was beautiful, actually. Well, I have a picture I'll show you later.
Yeah, I want to see that.
So she did that, and then my grandfather was an artist, and he was a working artist. So in other words, when they didn't have the photographs so much, so all the things from all your advertising was done with illustration and things like that. So she actually she was going to college for art herself, and she met him for lunch, and one of his clients said, your daughter's very beautiful, could we use her in an ad? And so she did it, and then she realized how much money she was going to make, and that was that. Wow. And so she did work like that, and then she married Dad, and then had a lot of kids. So she stopped, but she would still do things occasionally.
It's interesting. I'm going to show you something here. My grandmother was a fashion model in the 20s, and I'll show you a picture here. This is her on the cover of Life magazine.
Oh my gosh!
Isn't that fabulous?
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That really is fantastic.
Yeah, I showed to Sophie. And I'll post this on the website. She's in a bathing suit, a black bathing suit, and there's a swan behind her.
Beautiful.
And so...
my mother did not want me to be a model.
Right.
My mother said, no, this is not for you. It wasn't that she was against it. She just, kind of said, I don't know. She just thought, maybe I shouldn't do that. Shortly before that, I'd been discovered in church by an artist down the street, Harry Bennett. And Harry used to paint Mom, and he said, can I use Shaun? And she said, well, okay. So I started working for him for Gothic book covers. Long hair and like lots of, big things.
Like Gothic romance?
Yeah. So I did the cover of it, with the big castle in the back and that kind of stuff.
Do you still have that photograph?
I have actually a painting.
You do?
One of the
we'll have to look at that.
And he gave it to me as a gift, the original one. Mm-hmm. But I did lots of them.
But this was the beginning right here for you. This was the Ridgefield Model Agency, which I suspect is in Connecticut. And it says on the front, believable people and country locations. Wow. And on the back, there she is, Shaun Casey, 5'7", size 10, preteen, and the rates. And your sister's in here, Katie Casey.
Yes.
And then who? And then who's this here? Kathleen Johnson was your.
Kathleen Johnson was my best friend.
Your best friend.
Yeah.
So this was just.
And she still is. We're seeing her next week.
No way. The rates. What year was this? Would you say? 67. These models are available in the metropolitan area in Connecticut for the year 1967. And the rates for women are $40 per hour, which is pretty good for back then, right?
I think it probably was great. I never got a job. They took my picture. They wanted to send me into some teen magazine. My sister wouldn't drive me. I never got to have a job. And I never worked until 1972. But I had a great composite.
Oh, that's so funny.
I know,
I'm gonna post this because this is hilarious. Just the believable people in country locations. Yeah. Shaun, there's a photograph in here in this Scribnesky. Oh, wait a minute.
That was my composite.
Oh, hold on. We got Shaun's composite that lists her activities. She loves to ski, swim, skate, riding, and 7.5 size shoe. You have gray eyes?
Green.
It says gray.
Well, they made a mistake.
Yeah, it's not a misspelling.
How could you not work? You had gray eyes. That's really unusual.
Maybe that's why I never got a job.
Right. I don't want to hire that gray-eyed girl. She looks weird. She's like one of the Stepford kids. Right. But back to the Scribnesky book. And this picture here of you wearing this tunic, and you've got, looks like wildflowers.
Oh, that was Indian. That was done in Sedona, Arizona.
And just one of the most beautiful photographs, period, that I've ever seen. And the one that follows it, was, I guess, was also done in Sedona?
No, that was done in Greece.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, not Sedona.
That was done in Greece.
You know, upon further investigation, that big ocean behind her probably should have tipped me off that it wasn't Sedona.
Yeah.
Gosh. Oh, and look at this.
And that was done in Chicago.
And I'm going to post all of these. This was done in Chicago. Look at that. Oh, wow, it's beautiful. That's like your... What are you wearing in that? That's a velvet kind of a gown? What is it? Do you know, you remember? Or?
No, they had so many different pictures, and the styling was extraordinary.
And the thing about it is that once again, like we were talking in the beginning, the versatility of this picture here with the tunic, and then all of a sudden you're in this beautiful gown. It's just remarkable. So, wow, how exciting. What were we talking about that we were going to talk about?
Oh, your crooked tooth.
Oh, my crooked tooth.
Yes, the crooked tooth thing.
So my crooked tooth, when I first started going in the business, they all said, I'm never going to make it because I have a crooked tooth. And
a top crooked tooth?
Yes.
Yes.
And so an eye tooth. And I said, well, I don't really know what to do about that. My father had 5 kids, and he said, forget it, too bad. So that was that. And CoverGirl, when I first started working, CoverGirl was my first cosmetic. I did a lot of cosmetics. I did CoverGirl, I did Revlon, I did Maybelline, I did, and I did Estee Lauder. I mean, that's a lot.
That's like all.
So
yeah, that's like all of them.
So anyway, so when I started with CoverGirl, they actually made me a tooth to put over the tooth, kind of like what Lauren Hutton did with her space. And they thought that would be a good idea. And then they took pictures and they sent it to, the head guy at CoverGirl, and he took a look at it and said, I hate it. Give me back the kid with the crooked tooth. And that was that. And I had, and he just said, there's something that happens to her when you take away the tooth that's no good. So just leave her the way she is. She's kind of like a little lopsided, kind of like little, not everything is perfect, but somehow or another it's okay.
Real.
So,
yes,
as they said in that thing, real people.
Yes. And we'll go right back to the Richfield Model Agency. Believable people
yes.
with crooked teeth.
Yes. So there, and I did a lot of my covers smiling with a crooked tooth. I did a lot of campaigns and things like that. I think that in that time, I used to get fan mail and stuff from kids who, not everybody's born perfect. There are certain people that are models, and you just think, wow, they're just so perfect. Then there are people that aren't like me, but that doesn't mean that there's not a certain amount of energy there, and something that can be photographed and can work out well, and so I think that was good. Some people would choose. They would relate to me because I was relatable.
Yeah, and they appreciated that.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
And then I started working for Glamour a lot.
A lot.
And that was with Reinhardt, was the first person that I worked with Glamour. But then I did quite a bit with John Stember also. And then Patrice.
Mm-hmm. And Patrice.
Yeah. And I think I did 8 covers of Glamour. And I don't know how many covers of... 6 covers of Harper's Bazaar, and then a lot of European covers.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite designer whose clothes that you just felt just so comfortable in, so just loved the way they felt when you wore
Calvin.
them? Calvin.
Yeah, Calvin. I mean, Ralph was great. Ralph is great too. Calvin, I think, was. I just love his clothes.
Yeah.
When he was actually designing them.
Is this Calvin here?
Yeah, that's Calvin. That's
this
actually
is
by Bruce Weber did
Right.
those.
so. This is did this book just come out?
Yes.
Calvin's book.
Uh-huh.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! And here's a beautiful. Oh wow!
And if
Amazing.
you go this way, you'll see that this is like when he had the cover of Newsweek with Rosie. This Arthur did these.
Right. Oh, and that's
Rosie Vella.
That's Rosie. Yeah. Oh wow. Thank you, darling.
Thank you.
It's Gary Schiebler, Model Life, and we'll be back soon.